Few people had the idea, the message of what the potential of doing business in Africa was all about, and we set out with Africa Down Under to try and demystify the notion that doing work in Africa was simply too hard. The first event was very, very cosy, about 70 people, our friends, family, dogs, all the staff, and we had a good couple of days. It was good, and we sensed at that first meeting that there was something that ADU had to offer Africa and also Australia. I think in some regards we've begun to get the message across that people have really started to appreciate is, yes, there is something to look at in Africa, and by attending ADU they learn progressively more and more. We could tell better stories, companies could tell their stories, and government eventually, both African and Australian, started to get right behind it.
I think really from 2005 the conference really took off because investors began recognising what was happening in Africa. Australian companies were increasingly confident about operating there, and African governments were also increasingly aware that Australian companies quite often offered the best opportunity for development of their resources projects. In many ways, Africa Down Under had achieved its initial job in raising awareness about the opportunities that Africa offered.
Africa Week is something that really kind of found itself. We have 3 days of Africa Down Under, and then we added a research forum, then had a university forum, and now even a community awards night that we are very much involved in, as well as, of course, the Africa Down Under Cup, which is a truly community-based football competition for Perth-based African teams to get together, have some fun, and kick a ball around the field. We are optimists. We see as things get bigger, brighter, better for Africa, more Australian activity, more African countries encouraging different companies to come in and do, not necessarily just in mining or resources, but across a wide spectrum, so that Africa becomes a place for Australian business to do business in.
I think the future of Africa Down Under is very bright. Obviously, geopolitically, Africa has its ups and downs, and some countries are in an upward cycle while others are in a downward cycle. But I think generally across the continent we're seeing democracy spread, and we're also seeing pro-business environments in so much of Africa now, that I think we can be very confident about the future of Africa and the future of Africa Down Under.
ADU offers the forum, the environment for company CEOs, financiers, government representatives and the media to get together and to tell the stories, do business and get to know each other better, and I think that's been very successful. So without a shadow of doubt, Perth is Australia's African capital. It is also Australia's mining capital, and it seems most relevant that African governments will come and talk and meet and do business in post #1 Africa City.